The underspin on a paddle tail is absolutely amazing, especially with a nice jig head. I'll see that one's missing the eye. That just shows you how much I've used it. There's the eyeball on it. There's the underspin, and a good solid paddle tail will get you some bites.
Setting the hook with Jose.
What's up, family? It's Jose and welcome to Setting the Hook. You know, I made a video before talking about my top 3 ways to fish in the fall, and my number 1 way was the paddle tail. The paddle tail, like you see right here. But you know, someone asked me, can you go a little bit in depth on the paddle tail? And I kind of did a little bit on that video, but now we're gonna go a little bit more in depth. In fact, this is my top 3 ways that I like to fish the paddle tail. So let's go with number 3, drop shotting it. I have my drop shot set up right here. And just like you would have your normal drop shot hook with your cylinder weight or teardrop, bullet weight, whatever you want, all you're gonna do is take this and nose hook it. Just like that. So there it is, nose hook, and that's all it is. You're gonna keep the tension high, keep the line tight, a little bit of shaking coming in, but even when you shake it, keep that tip up and drag this. So as this is in the grass, this part is coasting right over the grass. That's gonna really entice a lot of bites. That's not something normally that a lot of fish like to see. So that's my number 3 way, is fishing that paddle tail on the drop shot. My number 2 favorite way is on a big jig head and an underspin. Any type of underspin, any way that you're gonna set this up with an underspin. This creates a lot of flash. You're gonna get a lot of bites. The fish are keying in on that. Usually it takes, you know, small subtle differences that's gonna have that lure look different than, you know, every other lure that's being thrown out. So when it comes to fall fishing, the underspin on a paddle tail is absolutely amazing, especially with a nice jig head. I'll see that one's missing the eye. That just shows you how much I've used it. There's the eyeball on it. There's the underspin, and a good solid paddle tail will get you some bites. My number 1 way to fish is a swim jig. Now, when I talk about swim jigs, you know, I also kind of, I leave that kind of open, but it includes, your bladed jigs also. Red is a good color for fall, but this includes your bladed jigs. But so when I say swim jig, I also mean that. Ripping this through grass, you know, if you have a lot of grass, a lot of vegetation, that underspin is gonna get choked up a lot. And if you fish a lot of places like I do, running it across the grass lines, running it through the grass, ripping it through the glass, this is the best way. A lot of times you're gonna see this thing, and once you rip it out of the grass, that's when you get your bites. When this comes through the vegetation, that's normally when a fish is gonna come and get it. They'll either get it from this side or they'll hit it head on and they'll get onto it. The type of gear though, so I've covered my top 3, and that's the drop shot, your bladed underspins, and then your regular swim jigs. Now your gear is just as important on that. So when you have a rod and reel that you're ripping it through grass, you've got a heavy gauge hook like this, you're not gonna want to go with a smaller, lighter power rod. You want to go with something medium heavy or even a heavy. For precise casting, precise and power, I use the heavy spirale rod. That's just my favorite from KastKing that I utilize on anything that I need to precisely get, coast through the water, have control over, and it's got that big, nice, thick hook on it. But for the fall, that's the best, at least that's my number 1, is the paddle tail, just because of its versatility. The fish hit it, and there's so many different applications for it. It's just an amazing bait. If you got any questions or you want to know anything else, comment them down below. I'll try to get back to them. And you know, if you want, I can do more videos on more things. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time for another episode of Setting the Hook.